Did you guys know what you were getting into?
It was such a different project that I was like, let's just do this because I've never done anything like this.
What was your reaction when BYD approached you?
Well, the first reaction is people forget that Karachi is a coastal town.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you think about
We
Karachi,
forget.
We forget ourselves when we live here.
They chose creators or people who were not from the area.
Yes.
So they brought Mariam from Islamabad to all the way to Sindh.
Yes.
Because I was expecting maybe they'll take you.
Technically, it would have been easier for me from Karachi to, but they're like, no.
So had you done these things before?
not in Pakistan.
Yeah.
These were things I had associated
Were you
with coastal
scared?
Karachi.
It seemed like you were scared.
Just had to do it.
Covering the Cholistan desert. What was the experience of?
I actually did not know what to expect, to be honest. I just knew that desert hai, Cholistan hai. And I think every day was like a little element of surprise. We had a rally driver with us, a professional. We had to test ski electric mobility, kaisi hai, sand ke upar, the BYD Shark 6. And the way he handled it, it was, I think you can see it in the video.
Yes.
You can see like me like going like this. Like, are you serious?
और फिर आपने camels के साथ race भी की थी. You were in the car.
I knew that camel race was a part of the storyboard. I didn't know when it would happen.
What was your favorite feature?
Speaking to the car itself as if it was like
when
a
you
series.
guys were confessing love to.
Yeah, they
To
loved
the car.
it. The boys loved it. They were like singing into it,
Yeah.
professing love for the car.
Yeah. How was your experience when you drove it for the first time?
I mean, it was amazing. Car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour within 5.6, 5.7 seconds.
Yes.
Very fast.
कराची की रोड्स पे जिसका सब मजाक उड़ाते हैं तो उसके लिए तो ये परफेक्ट है.
Perfect.
स्मूथ राइड जाएगी.
Smooth, पता भी नहीं चलेगा. Like, खड्डे कराची में नहीं
No.
यार.
We have BYD
Shark
Shark
6 में तो नहीं पता चलता.
So how do you think doing this episode of the Great Pakistan Adventure changed each one of you?
I feel like I became a much better creator and a much better storyteller.
Another thing why I really enjoyed the whole BYD and everything we've done is like, yes, there's the technical abilities of the car, but also as a brand, there's so much like investment in the culture of Pakistan.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Very few brands are actually invested in the landscape that is Pakistan. And part of what makes this series so special is that there are people working within BYD who really believe and love Pakistan.
Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum. This is Rabia and you're watching me on Fuchsia Magazine. आज जो podcast है बहुत different type की है. BYD Pakistan has recently launched this new series which is called the Great Pakistan Adventure. जो पाकिस्तान के different areas को cover कर रहा है. बर्फ़ पे भी जा रहे हैं, सहरा में भी जा रहे हैं, सिंध में जा रहे हैं, पंजाब में जा रहे हैं. और उन्होंने 4 creators को on board लिया और उनके साथ इन areas को डिस्कवर किया है. आई वॉज ट्रूली इम्प्रेस्ड क्योंकि इन एरियाज़ को शायद मैंने पहले कभी इस तरीके से नहीं देखा था. एंड द फोटोग्राफी एंड द cinematography and the shots were so amazing. तो चारों creators हमारे पास आ नहीं सकते, वो थोड़ा मुश्किल था. We have 2 of them here with us in studio today. We all know Mr. Paki, known as Bilal Hassan also, and we have Nadir and Nahdi from UK, Middle East, all over the world, I would say, and Pakistan. So we're going to have a conversation with them. How was their experience? How did it personally impact them? And what is about BYD that they love the most? So मिलते हैं और कुछ बात करते हैं. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikum.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
So good. Better
So
now.
good. How many number of trips have you had to Pakistan and which one is it now?
I think since the first one where I met you, this is probably now number 10.
This is 10.
10. I've come a lot now regularly.
So from 2019 till now, you've come.
Yeah, some
10
trips are longer
times.
than others. Some were quite short,
Yeah.
maybe like 3-day trips. But since I first came and broke the ice, I've come back, and obviously outside of building a relationship that my family had with it, it was really important for me to build my own relationship with it. So now I have community and I have friends and I have
That's so nice.
people that make it feel like a
We
home.
met most of them on most of the trips. Half of them.
Yeah,
most of them. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just nice to have my own relationship with
So,
the country.
Mr. Paki, Bilal, we know about you. You create content related to Pakistan, and आजकल तो आपकी एक नई वीडियो एक लेटेस्ट उस पे हमें दिखाई दे रही होती है, which is कभी-कभी बड़ी controversial, exciting और बड़ी emotional होती है. कभी आप अपने मजे से कोई बात कह के साइड से निकल जाते हैं. Yeah, so we know about you, माशाल्लाह से. किसी को मुझे लगता है इनको तो इंट्रोडक्शन कराने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. But for you, I would like to know a little bit about you, that you have mixed parents and your mother is from Pakistan.
Correct. My mother's Pakistani. She was born here,
Yeah.
but actually went to the UK around 6 months. And as a result, my whole family was there. So there was never really like this burning desire to be like,
Yeah,
come back to Pakistan to visit relatives, which is primarily why people come back.
Yeah.
But I'd heard Pakistan throughout my whole life. Ate Pakistani food, heard the language. My nani was, some of the earliest memories I have of my nani was going to like early Bollywood films and Qawwali and Coke Studio really was a big lens for me to kind of access the culture. And so it really was Pakistan through a window. It wasn't quite direct access to it, but there was always like intermediaries. I grew up having this idea of what I thought Pakistan was my whole life. But really, it wasn't until later on in life that I had the opportunity to experience it for myself. And you realize there's a big difference between my Nani's Pakistan
Yeah.
Yes.
and my Pakistan.
True.
And experiencing that difference was sad also, because it felt like I was grieving my Nani's Pakistan.
Oh.
But at the same time, amazing to craft my own relationship with this place that meant so much to her. And now moving forward, I'm asking myself questions of, will this place mean anything to my children in the future? What does it mean for my culture, my heritage moving forward? So these are the kind of questions I'm navigating now. But Pakistan means a lot to me, always will. I think it's really important to pay homage to cultures and ancestral homes that built you and allowed you to be where you are today. And I have so much respect and love for it as a result.
Okay. So you are a content creator.
I am.
And you create content from around the world.
Correct.
Covering culture and
I try.
travel, right?
Yes.
Different things.
Correct.
By the way, he's an economist, right?
Well, no, I did policy, philosophy, and economics. I did study it, but I was terrible at the economic side. But
Yeah.
leaned heavily
I
on the
like the way
politics,
you say,
philosophy
"Sham,
side.
no big deal. I just did this by side of the paper. But this is what I like." Okay, so coming to
But can you imagine having grandparents studying policy, economics,
And then
and
saying,
And
then
then
telling them
leaving
I'm
it.
making like YouTube videos for the rest of my
Yes.
life? So I don't know if
so
they're-
what happened when that happened?
Well, I think they're still
It
disappointed.
was a
in me
big
in some-
blast.
in
The
some
whole of
level.
London could hear it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just I was going down a trajectory. I have to say I was very lucky. I had my dad was like, do whatever you want.
Oh,
But
that's
just
good.
make sure it was beneficial to mankind. That was the only
Yeah.
thing I had. So I kind of went down the route of trying to make my parents happy and made a viral video by accident. It took me down a different way, and
And here we are.
Some family is still waiting to be convinced that it was the right decision, but
Yeah. I think that's the journey we all have
Yeah,
had,
yeah,
exactly.
you know, more or less.
Yeah, exactly.
So when BYD approached you guys for this concept
Sure.
of discovering Pakistan, so what was your first reaction? Did you guys know what you were getting into?
Nahin.
Nahin.
Nahin. I had a vague idea, but I think when the pitch came, it's like I was not understanding what exactly, how it's going to be.
Okay.
It was like, they were like, it's going to be travel, it's going to be travel document. I was like, do you want a reel?
Yeah.
Because that's how we think.
I know.
Do you want a reel? Do you want stories? What are the KPIs? You know, because that's how we talk in the content world. They're like, nahin, they're like, we want to do something different. I was like, what is different? And I feel like even when they were trying to explain it to us, what is different, it was such a different project that I was like, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Because I've never done anything like this. And just like for the audience, like this query came to us like around a year back. So like I've been talking back and forth, and now you're seeing it. So yeah, that's how it was basically.
और आपको बिल्कुल अंदाजा नहीं था कि आपके साथ क्या होने वाला है?
मुझे कोई अंदाजा नहीं था. ठीक है, मुझे तो पहले बोला गया था कि आपको जो लोकेशन हम भेजेंगे, आपको हम सक्खर भेजेंगे. And I was like, yes, let's do this because I'm very familiar with that area. I've shot many times. They're like, oh, you're familiar. You're not going to Sakar. You're going to Cholistan. I was like,
Oh, they changed it. They changed it because you were familiar with it.
yeah, they were playing Fear Factor with me.
But I love this fact about the 4 episodes that they chose creators or people who were not from the area.
Yes.
So they brought,
Not at all familiar with it.
Yeah. So they brought Mariam from Islamabad to all the way to Sindh.
Yes.
I was like, oh, because I was expecting maybe they'll take
Just
you.
technically would have been easier for me from Karachi to, but they're like, no.
Because her expressions, her, surprises similarly for you, Nadir. The expressions and the process that you were going through, it's obvious on your
Exactly.
face.
Yeah.
So I think that is being communicated through the screen to the consumers.
Absolutely. I think
So that was I think it was a brilliant idea.
I didn't understand that until I saw the
Yeah.
final cut
Yeah.
last week, and I was like, I understand why they. So because there's surprise on my face on everywhere
Yes.
because I'd never seen any of it.
Yeah. And also, I think the genuine reaction is
Yes, it
coming.
was all genuine.
It's not, you don't
No.
have to act or pretend.
No.
No, it wouldn't be much of an adventure if we were familiar with the place, right?
Yeah.
Like it had to be somewhere that we were exploring also, and it's so easy to put someone who's been there and knows the information and can tell you little like nitbits of little facts and all that kind of stuff. But to be experiencing it firsthand with the audience as well, who probably haven't been either, was priceless and authentic. Because that's what an adventure
So,
is.
what was your reaction when BYD approached you? You're like, oh yeah, I got to explore Karachi. Or you're like, oh, because yours had a different thing. You had to learn to surf. Was
Correct.
it from there initially, or it came later on?
Yes, it came to me as a surf concept. So
Okay.
they told me I'd be traveling across the coast of Karachi,
Karachi and Balochistan, Sindh and Balochistan coastal area, right?
Yes. Well, so mostly Sindh. So when they said that to me, I was like, well, the first reaction is people forget that Karachi is a coastal town.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you think about
We
Karachi,
forget
We forget ourselves and we live here.
Yeah.
and the way the architecture of the city is designed is that you could live in Karachi and not really see the coast for a very long time, right? And that's a very interesting fact. Even though internally, the culture, when you think about port cities or coastal cities, there's a natural cultural tempo in which they move and openness to the people. But as a result of that being sectioned out, the benefits of the ocean aren't really being felt within the city. Why doesn't Karachi eat more fish?
Yeah, we ask that all the time.
It's a crazy thought, right? Thinking that you have such an incredible access to seafood. But so when I was told that I'd be exploring this element of Karachi, it was a whole new world for me. Because technically, I'm a Karachi boy, ethnically, right? So it was like, okay, I think I understand Karachi, and then being given the opportunity to expand and stretch my understanding of it beyond my own narrow confines of what I believe it to be. Of course, I'm going to lap it up because it makes my idea of Pakistaniness, Karachiness, even bigger. So I felt like I was benefiting more than they were.
But I feel you are also an adventurous person.
Oh, entirely.
So you must have been really like, not bad.
Well, the surfing element was even more fun because it was like, oh my God, this is like a tick box thing for me.
Yeah.
You're telling me I can do this in Pakistan?
Exactly.
Which is
my biggest surprise because Nadir's episode covers they start from Kimari and he starts with these boys from, how do you pronounce it? Buleji.
Yeah.
So they start with some people from Buleji and they go surfing. I was like, wow, I really had no idea that you could surf in Pakistan, in Karachi.
Did you know?
I was.
You probably did.
I
Yeah,
had
but he's
no
like not the
idea.
average at Karachi.
So
but like,
मुझे तो बिल्कुल नहीं पता था.
Profiled them once. They're cool kids.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I was also one person. I was like, we get it. We've done everything.
You're way back, Rabia. It's okay. कोई बात नहीं.
But for me, it was like it blew my mind. And then the story of the boys is really fascinating because really how surfing came into their community was through these broken boards, right? They were these broken boards in which they found, they upcycled, put them back together, and they taught themselves how to surf, right?
Okay.
And that in of itself is really fascinating. And for me, put them into the context of this village, Boleji, which they come from, the expectations of young boys like them is that you're going to become a fisherman like your father was before you.
Yeah.
Generations of fishermen. For anyone who steps outside of that line, you're demonized, you look very weirdly, there's no support from your community, not encouraged. But these boys have been so militant and so determined that they believe these surfboards will change that destiny. Is crazy for me. And that was one of the most inspiring things about my adventure. It wasn't necessarily standing up on a surfboard, but it was like, wow, here are boys who really believe that they can change what life has determined for them. And that is a relatable thing we can all feel within a certain life. When people set us on a course, but we want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do we have the courage to take that right turn? And that was the lesson.
And also something which right now doesn't really have a future in Pakistan, realistically
Which
speaking.
is?
Surfing.
Well, we've been told, but it could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're building up something, right?
Yes, from nothing.
So that's even more brave of them to do this and shows their passion and the
Against
courage.
all odds. There's so much going on.
But there's always an opportunity for someone to be the first. Because I guess when we started off in content, people told us there's no future there.
Especially you being a doctor.
I'm being a doctor.
Who could have thought that you would lead and him being.
So we're all
economists.
So Nadir covers the coastal areas. He goes to Kimari, he goes to Mubarak village, he goes to there's another beach, and then there was one more area, right?
There was
you stop in the
China Islands, yes.
China Islands,
China
yes.
Islands, sorry.
Did you go scuba diving there?
We did. Well, not scuba. We went snorkeling at the time.
Snorkeling,
The
okay.
visibility wasn't great for scuba at the time.
Yeah.
But we went cliff jumping. So we were jumping off these huge cliffs with the boys.
So had you done these things before, or
Cliff jumping, yes. But not in Pakistan.
Yeah.
These weren't things I had associated
Were you
with coastal
scared?
Karachi.
It seemed like you were scared.
Just had to do it.
A little bit.
I had to do it.
Were you or were you not?
Of course, I mean, there's always an element of fear, but that's the fun of it, right?
And the fun thing is, so the video shows, he's standing with 4 local guys and, all looking great. The shot is really nice.
What was I looking? Looking terrible?
No, all of you guys and me.
Okay. Alright,
This
cool. We got
bunch of guys standing on the cliff. Looking, the shot is really nice.
They look great.
I did not mean, he got so conscious. I didn't mean that.
On the billboard, you have the beauty shot.
Yes, that's so true. So, the first boy jumps, the second guy jumps, the third, I'm like, is he gonna jump? or not. Nadir is standing alone on the cliff. I'm waiting. Is he going to jump or not? What's going to happen? And then finally he jumps. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Because I was like, Elsa now, he didn't jump.
And it was a very ungraceful jump as well. It was like...
Because in the beginning of the episode, it's slightly funny that he's trying to surf, but he can't stand. I like the
all the
build
nights,
up.
by the way.
Yeah.
Great surfer.
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil
Just,
this. You guys should watch that episode till the end to see what really happens. There is a surprise at the end. I like the way they did it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It was very interesting. You know, it was not just exploring that terrain, but also just, okay, what's going to happen? There was a proper storytelling that was happening.
Yeah, of course. Like every adventure has elements of fear, and like part of it is pushing yourself outside your comfort zone.
Oh yes.
And like and I love being in that fearful space. So like yeah, of course there was fear. There was like you
showcasing his body and
I know that's
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 why he was like,
that is
"They're
what
not looking good." He's like, I worked so hard.
That was something I
Nah, they will get it.
no, wait. When I saw the billboard, I was like, my Nahdi's rolling in her grave. This is not what she imagined.
Okay, now we come to the serious side, but not that serious. You covering the Chulistan desert.
Oh yeah.
अच्छा मुझे again अब आप मुझे प्लीज जज मत कीजिएगा दोबारा वो वाली लुक मत दीजिएगा क्या मुझे तो पता था कि सर्फिंग होती है कि डेजर्ट रैलीज होती हैं
Cholistan, yes, the Cholistan
Yeah,
is
what
one of
is
the. It's one of the biggest rallies and most prestigious rallies in Pakistan. Yeah.
Bilal, Mr. Paki goes to Chulistan desert and वहाँ पे उन्होंने areas cover किए. उनमें से काफ़ी चीज़ों को तो हमने पहले से देखा हुआ था, like the Dilawar Fort, you know, and मैं ना नाम भूलती जा रही हूँ साथ साथ आप लोग बताते हैं.
Cholistan desert है.
Chulistan desert है और उधर भी जहाँ village में भी गए थे वहाँ बैठ के you were listening to the music.
Yes.
So that's also very interesting, and to look at it from a Karachiite's perspective was, I thought, was very interesting.
Oh, it was really.
You know, and again वही बात थी कि पंजाब usually when we think about it's all greenery.
Yes.
जिससे आपने start भी की अपनी video, but this was a very dry but rugged but still very lively and full of, you know, culture part of Punjab that we get to see in this episode.
Absolutely.
ये आपकी fourth है आपकी episode या कौन सी है?
Number 2
episode. The Great Pakistan Adventure. Okay, so जब आप पहुंचे आपको क्या था? What was the experience of?
I actually did not know what to expect, to be honest. I just knew कि desert है, Cholistan है, that's what we're doing over here. And I think every day was like a little element of surprise, like something new हम देखते थे. Rally was एक part था उसका, because the Cholistan rally is one of the biggest rallies in Pakistan, and we had a rally driver with us, a professional, Mohammad Marwat, and I think there was like this, we had to test कि इसकी electric mobility कैसी है sand के ऊपर, the BYD Shark 6, and the way he handled it, it was, I think you can see it in the video, you can see like me like going like, I was like, are you serious? It's like, आपको चलानी है? You want to try also? So I also did it. It was,
और फिर आपने camels के साथ race भी की थी. You were in the car.
I was in the car.
अच्छा मैंने camel ride किया हुआ है, ठीक है, and हम वो सीव्यू पे देखते हैं, हम सबको ही पता है. But to watch them running like that was something very, very different.
I'll tell you like how the entire thing happened. It was, I knew that camel race was a part of the storyboard. I didn't know when it would happen. And I think उसी दिन था, like I think 10 मिनट पहले I had to take a shot with the camel. एक वो beauty shot type देना था.
Camel के साथ.
Camel के साथ. And camel से beauty shot. The camel literally licked my face. मेरा पूरा मुंह से मेरा चाटा था उस वक्त, ठीक है. और मैं तब गया था, ठीक है. मैं कहा कोई टिश्यू है, everyone was like नहीं टिश्यू ले. They're like धूप जा रही है, sun is going, and they're like Bilal, camel race. I was like, can I wipe my face? They're like, no, the sun is going, get in the car, race the car. I was like, do I get to do another shot? एक shot. They're like, this is the only shot. The light is going. We fly to Karachi tomorrow. So आप ट्रेलर के अंदर भी देखते हैं एक शॉट है where like I give the shot and like I'm walking really and everyone's shot. Yeah, like I was actually pissed. I was like
गर्मी हालत खराब.
गर्मी ऊंट का.
कैमल ने मोहब्बत दिखा दी.
जी बिल्कुल. So I literally just get in the car and they're like गाड़ी भगाओ and the camels are going to run with you. I was like, is this the only shot? They're like, get it right. This is the only shot. अब पीछे डायरेक्टर चीख रहे हैं. It's like तेजी चलाए और तेजी से रेस and everything, और मुझे कैमल की बदबू आ रही है मुंह में and everything. I was like get through the shot. So yeah, but I think it turned out great.
It turned out great, and I think this was something different. Another thing which I liked about the series was that so we knew about these areas, like we knew about the Kimari place, and we knew about blind dolphins का जो मरियम ने cover किया. You covering the Cholistan desert and everything, but to see them in this perspective was very, very different.
It was very different.
क्योंकि ये shot बड़े different तरीके से हुए हैं. दूसरा element मुझे अच्छा ये लगा that all of these things were connected with a thought, with a life-changing
Exactly.
perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
You talk about resilience.
Yeah.
You talk about another life, a motivational thing,
Yeah.
which you, especially your father,
Yes.
Emotional part where you
Yeah.
go back to his school and
I
look
actually
for it.
did, yeah.
You know, so ये भी शुरू से ही था idea, and you guys created this thought about life or the lesson that you've learned from that area yourself. How was the process of creating this particular one life lesson or thought from this whole experience of BYD?
Yeah, that was the best part of it for me, because any adventure really, it's not about the places you see, but it's about the people you meet on that journey. And you know, Bilal's a traveler, I'm a traveler, and I think the reason why we're so addicted to the act of traveling is the lessons you learn along the way, right? And the opportunity to have everything you think you know shattered entirely and start from scratch. Like through these boys, there was just so many lessons. And I think what is encouraging people also is that when you go on your own adventure, you're not just looking at that mountain, you're not just looking at that desert, you're not just looking at that landscape, but there are incredible human stories along the way which really decorate that experience with so much meaningfulness. Otherwise, the mountain is just a view.
Yeah, true.
But like what decorates it with purpose and meaning and beauty is the stories and the lessons we learn along the way. And then I know for me that that journey, and I'm quite a reflective guy and thoughtful, and what I took from my particular adventure has stuck with me till today and probably for a very long time. And that's what the adventure element is. So yes, the car is a vehicle that takes you from A to B physically, but what the car really represents as a metaphor is also like, what did I think I know versus what I could know, right? And there's a kind of a metaphor there about this vehicle transporting you into another realm of understanding.
What it connects you with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like with me, it was like I didn't expect Bahawalpur would have so many women riding bikes over there, and one of those people is a character in our film, like Maha Hussain. And this was not a part of my the script that okay, we're going to go to my dad's school. That was not there.
अच्छा नहीं था वहाँ पे.
बिल्कुल भी नहीं. That was not a part of it. And like literally, in fact, I'd forgotten about it. But my dad did ask me, and मेरा plan था like अलग से जाके देख लूँगा. It wouldn't be part of the film. And my dad usually when I travel like उनको भी ज़्यादा he's like a dad. He's like desi dad. He's like हाँ चले जाना खैर खैर. But this time he did say, he's like जाना वहाँ. मैं स्कूल गया था वहाँ, and he's like मेरा नाम है बोर्ड पे, I'm a gold medalist, and मेरे अब्बा ने इतनी like interest दिखाया. I was like, okay, I must be really special. So like Maha, we just met randomly in the bazaar. She actually came to us because हमारे पास कैमरास थे, तो वो एकदम से हमारे पास आई थी. She's like, आप लोग बाहर से लग रहे हैं, आप लोग यहाँ से. हमने कहा हाँ बाहर से आए. She's like, आपको क्या देखना है शहर में? She just asked us randomly. I was like, नहीं कुछ खास नहीं है. She's like, नहीं कुछ तो होगा, एक तो चीज देखनी होगी. And then like I think one of the videographers with us said it, like because he knew I had mentioned it to her. He's like, यार आपको पता है इनके वालिद यहाँ स्कूल गए थे, सादिक पब्लिक स्कूल गए थे, अंदर जा सकते हैं? She's like, मैं कॉल्स मिलाती हूँ, कुछ करते हैं. And then she's like, कल सुबह meet me, ठीक है? So there's actually like there's a scene where like BYD Shark जो हमारी इतनी बड़ी और वो एक लड़की मोटरसाइकिल पे, but like I'm literally driving and we're following her, ठीक है? So she got us into the school. And she's like, आपके वालिद का नाम क्या है? She finds on the board and everything. So like, point being, last thing I expected, like in South Punjab, I would meet this girl on a bike who would help me connect with the past, and that's the beauty of travel.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you'll find.
True. So when was the first time you drove it? When you started shooting?
Yeah. The first time I personally drove a BYD was on this shoot, and one of the few electric cars I'd driven before, and probably one of the biggest cars I've driven before as well, and it was incredible. Like, because we were driving through rugged terrain, we were driving through like places that you don't normally drive in, sand, rocks, potholes, everything, and it just felt like the most incredibly smooth drive. And it was a perfect companion on a journey like this, really. Because usually you're used to like adventure in Pakistan being quite difficult and rugged and tough, but to be in this comfort space, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Great.
What was your favorite feature?
Favorite feature was probably, out of all of them, was speaking to the car itself, as if it was like
when
a
you
Siri.
guys were confessing love to.
Yeah, they loved it. The boys loved it. They were like singing into it, professing love for the car.
That's
and I was like, this is borderline getting a bit weird all of a sudden, but like they were playing with all the features, etc. And you know what, like that was really cool. Allowing BYD let me drive the boys around for a bit, and these boys had never been in a car like that
Yeah.
ever in their life.
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
So like it allowed me to explore the car like a child also, right? Who was like
Sweet.
these new features and all this kind of stuff. We were having karaoke in the car, we were like singing and blasting the music out, all the kids in the back of the truck. And through their giddy excitedness to be exploring a car that they probably never experienced before,
True.
it allowed me to also. So I got to see it through that lens.
You were the guide there.
Yeah, I mean, I was a child with them, innit?
Yes,
It was like,
yeah.
oh man, things probably like I didn't take notice before I was taking more notice. So.
How was your experience when you drove it for the first time?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I was a bit worried in the sense that, oh my God, I don't want to like do anything. Because the thing is, like just for like the audience, like the car goes from 0 to 100 kilometer per hour within 5.6, 5.7 seconds.
Yes.
So you
Wasn't
have
it 4.5?
it's very fast. So
Yeah,
so
because
you have
I
to be
heard that
very
also, yeah.
ekdam se. And I am a very safe, I'm a very slow driver in Karachi. Even my friends make that, Bilal, tez chala lo. But I'm like, I don't want my car to get scratched. So like, and this like, it'll just go like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the one thing. And then driving in the sand, like that is very uneven terrain, and how it evenly navigates through it. Yeah, that really. But probably my favorite feature was like we camped uske andar. So we used like we plugged it in. हमें लाइटें वाइटें पूरी जला वला के सब कुछ. And like yeah, it's like the perfect adventure vehicle.
Yeah, true. It seemed like that. और वो जो मुझे interesting part लगा था कि there were some areas जब वो aerial shot आता था उसका, तो you would think कि यार ये how is it gonna be possible for a car to go, you know, छोटी jeeps होती हैं जो usually, you know, if we go up north, they're usually jeeps which are very rugged, but they're a little compact.
Yeah, sure.
No, BYD Shark 6 is huge,
Yeah.
right? I was like, how it's gonna happen? But the way it maneuvers through all those,
Exactly.
you know, paths
Yeah.
and areas, and then not even once you feel unstable.
Not at all.
It was so impressive.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to buy that car
Yeah, like-
immediately. I was like, forget about everything else. You know, that's what the series did for me also.
Like first day I was like a bit careful, but then after that they were like, they're like, Bilal, it's okay.
It's okay,
It's
yeah.
okay. I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
okay. Then I was like, all the sand
Yes.
all over the place. I was like, I'm doing that. I was like, is it okay? They're like,
Yeah, they were weirdly chill.
they were so chill.
They were like,
They were
this is an
so
expensive
chill.
car.
I was like, this is
Like-
very expensive. Like they're like, just do it.
because उन्हें पता था the car is okay.
Yeah.
The car will bear through.
Instead, they'd be like, they're like, why are more sand in the air, more sand in the air? I was like, okay, let's do this.
तो उनको capability का पता था ना.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
were exploring, but how was it like? उसको एकदम से जब accelerate किया from 0 to you saying 100 or
Yeah.
in 5 point something
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah,
What
like
was the
it-
experience?
You know, you get this crazy adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And the
Because-
torque just like pulls you into the car.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the
But
cool
serious-
things, sorry to interrupt.
No,
One of
no.
the cool things we were doing with the car was how could we use the car to build things and do
Yeah.
things? We were in a fishing village and it was low tide and some of the boats struggled to come onto shore. So we were doing like crazy stuff just like out of pushing the car to its limits. We were getting rope, tying the boats to the back of the truck
Yeah.
and pulling them into shore. The car is incredibly powerful. I think it
Yes.
can push like 1.5 tons or something crazy. So like we were doing like, how could this vehicle help facilitate the lifestyle of people in these villages in a more helpful way, which was really fascinating to me. It was like
Yeah.
pulling heavy things, pushing people heavy things, 30 kids in the back of the pickup. It was just like, this car was facilitating a lifestyle in this village in a way that you can never imagine.
That's
So,
true. That's true. And coming to that, you know, मैं सोचूं कराची की रोड्स पे जिसका सब मजाक उड़ाते हैं, तो उसके लिए तो ये perfect है.
Perfect.
Smooth ride जाएगी.
Smooth, पता भी नहीं
You would-
चलेगा.
पता भी नहीं चलेगा. फिर आपको लगेगा आप भी किसी adventure
They're
में.
like, खड्डे कराची में नहीं
No.
यार, नहीं.
We have BYD
Shark
Shark
6 में तो नहीं पता चलता.
हमें पता ही नहीं है what are you talking about. So we are making fun of the ditches and the uneven roads in Karachi, which
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
makes fun. So we are saying that, you know, if you have BYD
Of course,
Shark
of course,
6,
of
it
course.
will be just a smooth ride.
Yeah,
you will not even
perfect
feel
roads.
that, you know.
And
Drive on University Road.
another thing why I really enjoyed the whole BYD and everything we've done is like, yes, there's the technical abilities of the car, but also as a brand, there's so much like investment in the culture of Pakistan.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And like, yes, I can tell you about the technical ability of the car all day, but very few brands are actually invested in the landscape that is Pakistan. And part of what makes this series so special is that there are people working within BYD who really believe and love Pakistan.
Yeah, it came across.
And it comes
through the
across,
episodes.
right? Like it's not a baseless, superficial campaign that is just like, here's a product and we're going to sell you
Yeah,
the
it's the
product.
car,
and
it's
this
the
is our
specs.
ability. But it's a company that's like, we're here to stay. We're investing in the rubric and the foundations of Pakistan, and we want to be seen as supporting this beautiful culture of Pakistan in ways beyond just sales and commercial interests.
True.
And like that for me is what we think when we're thinking about brands to work with and partnerships.
I think that's why you said
This
yes.
is why you say yes, right? It's like, yes, like absolutely, here we have an aligned interest, and that's the betterment of Pakistani stories. And had to have a brand that so like sees that value is so rare and allows you the creative freedom to express that in a way that you feel comfortable.
I mean, you get so much side stories from there. Because I remember like Jumeri just storyboard that I put together and everything. I was like, there's the black buck, this thing which this animal that was extinct in Pakistan brought it back. And if I would have taken it to any other normal brand, they're like, not important. Bring the car, gaadi lekar aao. Bring the car. These guys, they were like, yeah, let's do this. It's a story and everything. And I think they kept on telling us, I think not once during the edit process did they ever come to me and go like, oh, gaadi. They were like, story. We want the human element. We want the story. And like we adding on to what Nadir said is, I just like the fact that they were so invested within telling stories, real stories of Pakistan. Like they made us work hard for it in the sense they're like, you will go into the heartland, you will go like spend time with these people. We could have shot this in a day or like half a day, but they're like, no, you spend time.
Exactly.
You feel it. So yeah.
And it's like, there's an interesting conversation here, which I think a lot of people need to hear in Pakistan, is about like, what kind of relationships between stories and brands we should be having, right? And like, if you are a brand, what BYD is providing you a model, a template of how it should work, is like, our culture isn't something that you commercialize in a baseless way. Our culture is precious. It's something that means a lot to people, emotionally, intimately, spiritually. And as a brand, you don't have to tokenize it, right? You can actually, yes, of course you have commercial interests, but how do I make my interests align with betterment of community and society as a whole? And it kind of reminds me, like, Coke Studio was such an important reference to me because like it was my window into Pakistani music from far away. So if Coke Studio is synonymous with like preservation of music and culture, then why can't BYD do that for adventure and travel, right? And like these are examples of like incredible branding corporations within our communities, and like there's something beautiful happening. And I think from what I understand, it's just starting. So hopefully it evolves into bigger and more.
You guys are so right, and I think when I watched all 4 episodes, this was the thing that stood out for me, that I think in Pakistan, I don't think the brands are taking that much effort to connect the stories with their message or with their product. It's more like product. So this was very refreshing that for the first time this has been done. And they have actually invested because the shots are really nice. It's not just like, you're just going there making with the shots are really, really good, So that's also very aesthetic and very interesting to watch. That's also fun to watch, not just the story and watching you guys exploring, but visually it's also very, because I feel the audience have also matured in that way,
People don't, thank you for mentioning that, because people don't like realize just how much investment happens behind the scenes to be able to capture these environments. The director, Zohaib Qazi, and the team involved are people who not just turned up in these places and start shooting. They, throughout their careers, have invested in relationships, cultural depth, knowledge for the last 30 years. So you arrive and it's a culmination of all this investment that's been made, right? And like people don't realize how much love is poured into these projects. To be able to capture a beautiful, authentic scene in that way, you have to have knowledge, you have to have investment into the culture, and working with this production team, Zohaib and the team and everybody else, was such a blessing because they respected and revered the culture in such a beautiful way that it came on screen.
And also they were telling the real life stories, or also positivity. They made you proud of what Pakistan had. The conservation of black buck.
And that's,
then
there's the dolphins even.
The blind dolphins, and how the community itself is trying to preserve them. And there was a very interesting thing in Mariam's episode. Ali Somro is driving the car with her, and he tells the story about Ho Jamalo. I had no idea. How did this song come into?
But these are our stories.
These are our stories. I got to hear it for the first time. Sorry, please don't judge me like Bilal did a little while ago, please. हो सकता है लोगों को नहीं पता हो. It's okay. So that was it. And then with you also, when you go to the Mubarak village and the way you're interacting with them, and then showing the car being driven on the beach, in the sand, on the around the mountains of Sindh. It was not just the car itself. It was the beauty of those locations, which combined with the product was amazing to experience.
I mean, it would, for a brand, it would have been very easy for them just to like have us shoot this in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, in urban Pakistan, shoot
Yeah.
it. Would have been very easy, theek hai? But they're like, no, like we want to genuinely show these Pakistani stories from the heartland, Pakistani ragon se. And that's where I give them kudos. And also, a lot of people don't know this. Also, Zohaib also created a special soundtrack for this. Like,
Wow.
brands don't do this. Like, and there's literally like where, like, I think he went to in Ibrar's episode. There's like a Hoosh Valley, where they're giving a farewell song and everything. He recorded that. And in my episode, there were these musicians, Lakhan and all these musicians over there.
Yeah.
He recorded all of them. So there's special soundtracks for each episode also. Like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of love went into this.
Yeah.
It could have been very easy, just car shot. Yes, this, that, but no. They were like, what's the story?
We hope people see that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of love on every element from the brand all the way to the director to the creators involved. There's like a lot of love put into it.
Also, I think one thing that changed in me after watching that, and I wonder if the same thing happened with you guys. For example, in Pakistan, it's always like road trips are supposed to be rugged, rough, and then you're like, no, it can be a combination of comfort and exploration. You know, so that can be fun also.
Exactly. Like, I mean, Cholistan is a very harsh and rugged climate and very harsh terrain, but we showed that you can camp over there also underneath stars, and it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, and you don't need any other resources.
Just plug it in. Yeah,
with
turn on the
BYD
lights,
Shark.
enjoy the music. Yeah.
So how do you think doing this episode of the Great Pakistan Adventure changed each one of you? Kaise impact kiya hai as a person?
I actually think my episode is a bigger picture about Pakistan as a whole. Pakistan, as we know it, is a very like class-driven society. People live in certain worlds and they never leave that, or it's very difficult to escape that. You know, there's a French philosopher who calls it habitus, and like a habitus basically says, class doesn't only tell you what you have, it tells you what you can imagine to have. So for example, if you were born within a certain class, your aspirations, your dreams are determined by that society. So if you're a fisherman from Baleji and you make $100 every week, you believe as a child there that you will be a fisherman and you will make $100 a week, and that is the limit of your aspiration. You're not going to dream to be an investment banker because that's not part of your world. Now that world, they have access to education, they have access to other stuff. They have the ability, maybe the horizon is a bit further. But we're all operating within defined dreams in which we are able to access. Now what my video is about boys within a certain universe who suddenly start to think, hold on a minute, I don't buy this. I can be something different. And why did that happen? You could argue for many different things. Maybe it was social media. They started to see these references of things of surfing. And surfing is significant as a metaphor as well, because these boys are of the water. They were born and raised in the water. And then they see another practice in which surfing is poetry in water. It's literally poetry in motion, right? They see this, they get inspired by it, and they believe this surfboard can change this universe. They can jump between universes, and they believe it. Like when I'm telling him, and I'm trying to be the pessimist, I'm like, do you really think it's gonna work out? Like this surfboard with all the challenges that you have within you, do you think really that? And he's like, yes, absolutely, I believe this surfboard is gonna change my destiny. Now, if he can believe that, and he believes that he can break out the shackles of his universe, then who am I to believe that I can't break out the shackles of mine? And like, in fact, the question that I'm asking myself is like, what are my shackles? Because when you're a rooster and you're in the cage, you think the cage is the world, right?
True.
And like, for me, I'm starting to think how it changed my life is being like, what are things that I've taken as a given within my world? And like, how am I going to push beyond them, whether they're psychological or spiritual? Like, how do I push beyond my understanding of things? And that's how it changed me and inspired me. And the boys I will always be so grateful for reminding me that important lesson.
While you were talking, I was thinking the same thing in my mind, that how can I change my horizon? What is the limit of my horizon?
What is your horizon? Because the first step is seeing the horizon, right?
Because if you feel that, if you don't realize that there could be something beyond that.
Exactly. True.
So how would you even dream about that?
How would you even know? If you've lived in a room your whole life and you believe the room is the world, you don't know what's outside of that room. You can't even imagine it. Now the boys have left the room. They're like, there is another world outside this fisherman expectation. And like, what is possible?
They talk about Olympics and all that stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah. They want to. Their dream is they want to participate. They don't even want to win.
They just want to participate.
They want to represent Pakistan, right? And like, there's a beauty in that aspiration because it's not about commercial gain.
True.
It's about access to life, right? And like, that is such an inspiring feeling.
What happened with you?
With me, I feel like I became a much better creator and a much better storyteller because I feel like over here, like what you don't see, you see us four creators in the front as the faces over here, but you don't see the army behind it of that, and it took an army to create like all of this. And I feel like as creators, a lot of us, we also have our creative process, and then there's a lot of others who have their creative process. But somehow you have to trust that process. And in that process, I feel like I became a much better storyteller. Like now when I apply all of that, and I feel like getting to work with someone like Zohaib, it's like a dream, like because he brings that out of you. Shuru mein when it's happening, you're like,
क्या हो रहा है?
yeah, क्या हो रहा है? Like समझ नहीं आ रहा है, and you know, and it creates like a creator clash kind of thing. But when it comes out and then you realize and you're like, अब मुझे समझ आया क्या करना क्या है. So yeah.
So
That's interesting. Yeah. Were there conflicts between the way that you like to tell stories
Exactly.
and what you were experiencing?
Yeah, that and it very much it was there where because you have a different vision but there's someone else who has another vision. But somehow you don't understand their vision, they don't understand yours, but somehow you have to meet somewhere in between.
So true.
And then also there comes a point where you're like, okay, I think I trust
Let go.
I think it's okay not to micromanage this. Let's do this. Okay?
I think as creators, that is the biggest challenge, to let go.
It is.
Because
For me, it was very hard. Like
because you are the creator of your own, director of your own thing.
Exactly.
So now let it go. It's
Exactly. Yeah. And because you were onboarded for this project as a creator, so you're like,
but मैं नहीं करना था ये तो.
yeah, exactly. So, but like for me, like I think the camel race is a perfect example of it. Like, I did not understand it. मैं
उस वक्त नहीं समझ आया कि क्यों कर रहे हैं.
नहीं समझ आ रहा था. And there were these camels there standing right next to the car, and this camel has already licked my face. ठीक है. I was like, oh, I'm like gagging because like this. I said, just get in the car, race. I was like, I don't understand. I was like, which direction? He's like, just drive. He's like, when it comes out, you will understand.
Yeah.
And I do understand now, that kind of
What
thing.
about seeing the Dilawar fort? कैसा था? Because वो एक
You
तो जो
feel so small and insignificant. Like, and
empowering है वो.
so empowering. It's like, it's huge. And it's like 39 like bastions and your car just tiny. And the BYD Shark 6 is a big, solid, robust vehicle. But like when you see that fort in front of it, it's quite a scene.
आप पहले गए थे उधर?
नहीं, this was my first time in South Punjab.
अच्छा पूरा का पूरा.
Pura South, first time ever.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, and they asked me, they're like, have you been to South? I was like, no. They're like, okay, we're sending you.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, never.
I was watching this and there's this one thought that came to my mind that somehow we underestimate Pakistan.
Oh, yes.
And also the culture
Yes.
significance it has. And I think this, the Great Pakistan Adventure changed that for me, highlighting things जो मुझे already पता थी, like, you know, these Dilawar Fort, the Blind Dolphins, the, you know, Mubarak Village. I'm familiar with these things, but to show them in a different light was like owning it.
100%. I feel like just like for me, it was like, I feel like we tend to view Pakistan from a very skewed lens, but there are so many stories out there in the heartland. Like for me to see and talk to a conservationist, a Pakistani conservationist, who was literally brought back these animals from the dead, like literally they were extinct, and just hearing him talk with so much love about animals, like for me that was very different because we are often told that Pakistanis don't like animals or like or this conservation stuff is
Pakistan
not
mein nahi hota.
important nahi hai. But this man, he was talking about, he was telling me how he takes care of them, how their breakfast, lunch, everything is timed, and like how he exactly knew how many males, females there was. Like he knew everything, and it was just like I was just like listening to him in awe. Like it was like I was like, this guy's from my country. He's from here. Like, you know, it gave me like a reason to be proud. And like I literally like fought for that edit. I was like, we need to start with that. I was like, that is the story we start with. So yeah.
True.
Yeah, like underestimating Pakistan is, it's, I guess it's a thing, but I guess the feeling that I have with Pakistan is less underestimating it. It's just constantly feeling upset about the difficulty in Pakistan from a day-to-day lived reality that Pakistanis there's so much like heavy news and people, that's part of their lived reality. And I think for me, a lot of us are always just reaching out for some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, some sort of story that allows us to feel like a sense of pride in this place again, right? And like I think why this project was so alluring, it was the promise of a beautiful story, right? And I think my Pakistani-ness needs that. It needs that like a beautiful human story that's uplifting and inspiring, because in the context of all the heaviness recently and historically, it becomes heavy. And I think maybe that's why you do it as a career, and why I love coming back and forth, is a constant reminder that there is so much to be proud of in the context of everything that it goes through. There are beautiful stories in Pakistan to remind us why we love being here in the first place.
Did the Great Pakistan Adventure change your impression of Pakistan in any way?
Personally, I can't say it changed it, because I've always known Pakistan has this, right? Like Pakistan's beautiful. Pakistan has everything, which I love to say, right? It has good, bad, but the best places in the world have everything. It's just nice to have that theory affirmed, proved, and showcased for other people to witness. So like, for me as a creative, my challenge is being like, I know Pakistan has everything. How do I convince everybody else? Right?
True.
So that's the creative challenge of storytelling.
Was there one feature of BYD Shark 6 that you felt during this whole adventure was lifesaver?
I mean, for us, it would be different and unique to each episode, right? So like for us in our episode, it was the durability and pulling power. We're talking about like a tank. A tank that's also weirdly nimble, right? And we were carrying surfboards. There was a point actually where the story changed actually a little bit, because what we were trying to do in our story is actually build domestic surfboards made in Pakistan. So we were carrying timber, we were carrying wood, going to different carpenters across Karachi, trying to replicate a surfboard.
Wow.
It sadly didn't work out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't in the video. I was trying to remember.
No.
There's a lot.
It was something that came up last minute. We were like, hold on a minute, it's so difficult to import surfboards. Why don't we just make some in Pakistan? And actually the original surfboards ever made in Hawaii by the indigenous cultures there were made by, they're called alayas. They were made in wood. So we were like, this is incredible. We can make wooden surfboards. We can paint them in Pakistani like truck art and stuff like that, and different like artistic stuff. And we were trying to, so we met carpenters. We were like, these are the dimensions. Can we get it made? So we were carrying wood in the back.
And all of this was being shot.
Yeah, we were shooting it.
Oh,
but it was like
everything at the back of the.
Well, it was like a light bulb moment. It was like day 3 or 4, and we were like, hold on a minute, let's just build our own. So we went, bought wood, carried the wood here, and we had like kilograms of weight in the back. Driving there, and to have a car that was just easy to like plop things, not having to put seats down and having so much space, was a godsend in that context. Sadly, it didn't work out in terms of a creative output, but like it was.
But did you manage to create a?
We created like a prototype.
I would see pictures of that.
But the carpenter never made anything like that before. So he used a wood which is for boats, because he was thinking it needs to be like float, but that wood was heavy. It weighed like a ton.
You can't just like.
No, so it was like you put it in the water and it was just like.
No.
So, and surfboards have the wood needs to be a certain buoyancy and stuff like that.
But I'm sure you've given them some direction. You never know.
Well, we think this
They'll
is
be
the thing.
creating
The
something
boys
very
want to start surfboards, but I just think as a conceptual art piece, it would be amazing to have like a made in Pakistan surfboard.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Using indigenous Hawaiian techniques, but making them in Pakistan could be really beautiful.
What about you? What was one feature for you?
I think it's the stability, and like, because I've been in a vehicle where, like in a normal combustion vehicle, when someone is racing on a track like Cholistan, and I see how the driver gets exhausted after he like does his thing. Over here, it was so stable in a weird way, like Marwat did a lot of things with that car, but at the end of it, how he was completely like, you could see how he was like, chill. There was no driver exhaustion. I was like, because usually after that thing, you look at the driver, you're like, they're usually sweaty, like because they've ran a race. Just chill. He could have done it all day with that car. So it was extremely stable. That's what stood out for me.
Yeah. वो confidence दे थी driver को.
Oh, full driver confidence. Full driver confidence.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if that's such a good idea to talk to to communicate to the Karachi boys.
You will see them on phase 8, BYD Shark 6.
हमें कहाँ है उन्होंने सब कुछ हो सकता है हम chill रहेंगे.
Maybe actually one of the best features is the fact that like so much of driving in Pakistan is a little bit fearful. You don't know what environment you're going to come across, bumps all of a sudden that happen, terrain that you're not expecting. But to have confidence in the vehicle that you're driving, that it can deal with mostly anything that you're going to come across, that confidence-inducing feature is probably the best part of it. Like, so in the unknown of Karachi and Pakistan and beyond, feeling confident in your vehicle that it can deal with whatever you're going to be thrown at it, that's probably one of the best features about it.
What was the challenge in shooting? At any point, you guys thought this is not going to happen? कुछ ऐसा हुआ?
I feel like I said mine with the surfboard thing. So when we had this creative idea, it was like, oh my God, let's build a surfboard. And then we got the carpenters and we worked all night to make it happen. And then it couldn't.
It sank.
And it was like, because in my dream, I was like, this would have been a beautiful story and then gift it to the boys. And it didn't work. So then that changed the story a little bit. That was a challenge, but we made it work.
I think for us it was distances, because there's a lot of, you could see stories in ours, like there's the Lal Sohna National Park, there's Bahawalpur, there's Derawar Fort, so like and there's the musician village, so there was a lot of distances, and our time was just, we had 3 days to do it, 2.5, 3 days, so we were constantly racing against light. So that was a challenge, how to get all of it done. And in the middle, my dad's school came in between, which was not a part of the storyboard. So, but somehow we pulled it off.
I think another challenge that just occurred to me is, I think through our story, what we're also trying to battle is like conditioned behavior. A lot of people look at the coast and think it's somewhere not too safe, or somewhere that like they wouldn't go. That type of coast, that area of coast that we're talking about, and for me, it's about getting people to understand that like there is so much dormant beauty and value on Karachi's coasts.
That's true.
That if you give it an opportunity, you're gonna like be blown away. And so what we're trying to do is just basically humanize it, and make it real, and be like, there are incredible people here. It is safe, and come and visit the boys and have a surf lesson. Learn to surf in Pakistan.
Oh, you can take surf lessons.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Pardon me if I didn't make that clear. Like the boys are setting up a school.
Fantastic.
And the whole point of this, like
in Kimari.
In Buleji, like Turtle Island, is like it's like half an hour from here, 40 minutes.
Okay.
But like they are teaching now. They started lessons.
Because there was a lifeguard with you guys also.
One of them was a
lifeguard.
All of them are lifeguards. Incredible ones as well.
Because you guys focused on one who said, I've
Mujahid.
saved 19 or 20 guys in the last...
Me being one of them was probably. But like they are incredible. The boys are
You went down and he had to save you?
I went down several times.
Oh, okay.
Kept falling over. Yeah. No, the boys are incredible. It's incredibly safe. They know what they're doing. But I would love to see like Karachiites going to learn to surf in Pakistan.
I'm sure they would love to.
Yes, and like so if we can change that conditioned behavior and make it more common that people go.
We don't go to the beach enough. Like as Karachiites, like I don't remember the last time I went. We should go more.
We should go more. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
having me. It was a lovely conversation, and
thanks for having us.
Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. The Great Pakistan Adventure की 4 episodes YouTube BYD के channel पे available हैं. Please देखिए जाके ज़रूर. It is really interesting. These are short, 14 minutes to 15 minutes. Bored नहीं होते आप. पाकिस्तान को एक बहुत different light में देखेंगे. It will make you proud. It will entertain you. And probably it will make you want to go and explore those areas. Like मुझे जाना है चोलिस्तान. मैं जाना चाह रही थी after watching that episode. I wanted to go to Mubarak Village. हालांकि मैं कराची में रहती हूँ, but मैं अभी तक नहीं गई हूँ मुबारक विलेज. सो हम बहुत मार्केटिंग कैंपेन्स देखते हैं. मुझे लगता है जब एक ऐसी कैंपेन हो जो आपके कल्चर को बहुत खूबसूरत तरीके से प्रेजेंट कर रही हो और आपको एक प्राउड मोमेंट दे रही हो, तो उसको ज़रूर मेंशन करना चाहिए. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग हियर. All these 4 episodes are available on BYD Pakistan's YouTube page, and go watch it and let us know then which one was your favorite out of the 4 episodes, and do let us know in comments below. We'll be reading your comments, and आप लोग अपना ख्याल रखिए. आप लोग भी take care and Allah Hafiz.